I'm Denise Coogan, Manager of Environmental Partnerships for Subaru of America. Thank you for joining us here for Facelift Act Local. It's a recycling and cleanup event that Subaru is helping to sponsor, and we're really glad that you're here participating. In 2004, Subaru was the first automotive manufacturer to become zero landfill, meaning that nothing from the production of our vehicles is thrown into the landfill. Over the years, we've developed a set of principles for a more sustainable manufacturing. We start by reducing waste being generated, reusing where we can, and then recycling what is left. We took these principles that we had honed at the Subaru plant and put them to use in the national parks. And we started with 3 parks, Grand Teton, Denali, and Yosemite. We've been working with them for 5 years now, helping them to increase the recycling and decrease the amount of waste that's being generated by the visitors that are coming to the national parks. The recycling rate is going up, which is really a good thing. At Denali, they started out at 22% recycling. Now they're up to 45%. At Grand Teton National Park, they started out at 26%. They're now up to 50%. And in Yosemite, they started out at 23%, and they're at 40% recycling rate. The national recycling rate is around 34%. The parks are exceeding that rate, and they continue to improve each year. We also measure the amount of waste being generated by each visitor. Over the last 5 years, the amount of waste per visitor is decreasing. That tells me that our education efforts are working. People are being more thoughtful about what they are bringing into the parks and what they are leaving behind. The Leave No Trace principles are always good to remember when you're venturing out to enjoy the national parks and other public lands. One of those principles is to pack it in and pack it out if you can't recycle properly at the parks. One of the great projects at the Grand Teton National Parks is the way they're doing their composting. When they started, they were composting 73 tons of waste per year. Last year, they composted 274 tons of waste. That's a remarkable amount of organic material that's being kept out of the landfills. One of the projects that Denali National Park has is to recycle their snack wrappers. In 2018, they recycled 2 tons. Last year, they recycled 3.4 tons. These are hard to recycle items that are sent to TerraCycle, where they are recycled into park benches, picnic tables, and chairs that can be used back into our communities. One of the projects that Yosemite National Park has is to increase the amount of containers they have throughout the park so people can recycle right. We've been working with Recycle Across America to standardize recycling labels in these 3 parks, as well as many other national parks and public lands. We want to make it easy for people to be successful when they recycle. By just looking at the RAA labels, it's easy to discern what material goes in which container. There's approximately 331 million visitors to the national park units every year. Visitors can really help by just bringing your reusable water bottles. There's great filling stations in the parks that you can use and fill up your water bottles. Bring your reusable coffee mugs. Opt out for paper maps if you can. If you're in an area where you have good cell service, you can use electronic maps. If you're camping, bring reusable containers and take them back home. To reduce composting, just bring enough food that you'll need for your camping trip. Make sure you put the right material in the right container. Don't just fill up a bag of stuff and throw it in the trash, especially if that bag contains plastic bottles and cans that you can put in the recycling. So always make sure that you're recycling right. We have some wonderful partners that are helping Subaru with the national parks. The National Parks Conservation Association have been with us from day one, and they've been wonderful in helping us get this project off the ground and really helping us with the National Park Service, which is just another wonderful partner that we've been working with, as well as the National Park Foundation. Leave No Trace has been a wonderful partner with Subaru for over 20 years. Their educational programs have been helping people enjoy the outdoors for many years. We work with community landfills and recycling centers to ensure that once the material is collected in the parks, that it can be sent to recyclers. We also work with schools, putting together projects for kids to work on, because really they are our future. Those are the people who will be coming forward and carrying this torch into the next 100 years. And we're also working with our concessionaires at the national parks, and they've been wonderful in helping us expand this program into their own areas. It really does take a village, and it really takes the entire community to come together pulling in the same direction. We all want to belong to something bigger than ourselves, and we are going to make sure that we leave this world, and especially the national parks, a little better for our next generation. Our Subaru retailers are doing their part to love the environment. In the last 2 years, our Subaru retailers have recycled over 4 million pieces of hard-to-recycle waste. Things such as snack wrappers, disposable coffee cups, lids and straws, coffee and creamer capsules, all those things were taken and made into things that can be used in the communities. Today, when you're picking up the litter, make sure you go through it and pull out those items that you can take to your participating Subaru retailer. You can go to TerraCycle.com to find out who's participating in the program. On behalf of Subaru of America and all of our Subaru retailers, we really want to thank you for coming out to participate in Facelift Act Local.